Hello and welcome to another video from the only channel you need to not only survive the current apocalypse but actually enjoy it. And today's video is going to be about all those Marys. A while back I did a video called Three Women, and that video explained what the woman in Revelation was that was arrayed with the sun, with the moon at her feet, and the stars in her crown, and how she related to Babylon the Great, and how Babylon the Great related to Eve. Most people in Christendom recognize that mankind's problem started when Eve entered into a legal agreement with Satan. And so that's what all these Marys are about. We're going to find out why. The reason I'm doing this video is someone just went to that video today and wrote in, "Is Mary Eve? Or is Mary of the Catholic Church the Mother Goddess?" And she is. But rather than just put a yes or no answer there, I figured I'd better make a video to explain what I mean. When Moses left Egypt, it was recognized that he was the meekest man in all the earth. And as is the case in our day, people do not want to follow a meek person. They want to follow a powerful warrior. You know, Moses was not that. Moses was a very simple, humble man. And his sister, Miriam, thought that she would use that as a wedge to put herself into power. So her and a whole bunch of other people got together and they incited a rebellion against Moses, which ended with everybody getting punished and Moses remaining as God's spokesman. He was chosen by God to rule these people. It wasn't anything done by popular vote. Well, in any case, her name Miriam, which we read in our English Bibles as Miriam, means the cause of the rebellion. And most people in this world are named at birth. But that's not the way it was in at least the Hebrew portion of the Bible and possibly the entire Bible. People get named for what they represent. And so Miriam, who no telling what people would have called her back at that time, actually became known as Miriam because she was the cause of the rebellion. That's the rebellion against Moses. Now, thinking back to Eve as being the one that caused humankind to rebel, the word Miriam would be appropriate to assign to Eve. Eve actually comes from the Hebrew word hebe, which means egg. And if you go into all false religions, you'll see that the mother goddess, the egg goddess, is Ishtar, Easter, Ashtoreth, and some Bibles Diana, Absinthe, Astarte. All of these women are Eve. They're just religious icons based on Eve. And our English Bibles translate it so many different ways to confuse us about the big issue. Eve was the cause of the rebellion. In fact, her actual name that she would have been using was Ish-Shasha, which is where we get the word Isis. Ish-Shasha means alpha female, just like Aish means alpha male. And we'll have to do a video one day about the entire hierarchical system of tribal life in another video. But in any case, in tribal life, every single person was important. The way we get it in our Bibles is that, like, Abraham went in with a wife and a concubine and men servants and maid servants and slaves. All of these titles are derived in English from titles that mean absolutely nothing like what those titles mean. But each person inside of that hierarchical system was important. Now, Eve, the deal that she made was that if she would simply follow Satan's instructions, she would become like a god and live forever. And she could actually represent the entire species of humankind because she was the only one from which every single human on the earth came out, her and Adam. So either one of them could have made that decision. And in this agreement, which was a two-way covenant, obviously either person could break the covenant. And Satan did, because in the course of her life, Eve first saw her son die. her child, her son, died, even though she was promised that she would live forever, and that promise was not just for her, but her entire species. Later, she saw her brother die. It's very unique. In the Bible, Adam is referred to as Eve's brother. Obviously so. They're both the same species, both very similar, if not identical DNA, because she was made from Adam's rib, and both had the same father. So she saw her son die, she saw her brother die, and then she saw, and when her brother died, she also was witnessing her alpha male die. She was the alpha female, Adam was the alpha male, so she saw all of that, her children, and as well she would have seen her friends die, all of her relatives. And so Eve became a witness to the fact that covenant law does not work. Satan's covenant law cannot work. So why were there so many women named Mary in the Greek part of the Scripture, the New Testament? Because Mary is simply a transliteration of the word Miriam. Remember, Miriam means cause of the rebellion. Now, just common sense should indicate that all of these women were not named cause of the rebellion at birth. This is a name they acquired over the course of their life. And think about the things these women saw. All of these Marys, and there's quite a few of them. I've seen people say there were like 7 or 11 Marys altogether. I know of at least 3 that for sure you can identify each time they appear. But there was Miriam, the cause of the rebellion, Magdala, and we translate that as Mary Magdalene. And the churches tell us she was called Mary Magdalene because she came from a city called Magdala, which is pure foolishness based on the assumption that somehow Magdala can't be anything but the name of a place. Magdala is very obviously the Hebrew word meaning tower. And in the Bible, Eve is spoken of as Satan's tower. The book of Song of Songs, it says, well, what it says is, you are a tower of the mind and a tower of the neck. In our English Bibles, it says something like, your neck is like a tower, and your forehead is like a tower. Well, what it's saying is that this is the demarcation. This is the war zone. This is where the battle is going to be fought between Satan and Jehovah for this control of this woman's mind. She was the tower in this war, so it was up to these two to capture that tower. And see, Jehovah, he told her, if you do enter this covenant, you're gonna die. And Satan said, if you enter the covenant, you'll live forever. So that was the thing that was going to decide, you know, who got to control the earth for the next 6,000 years. So Mary the Magdala was actually the alpha female that was present for every occasion involving Jesus. So, and think about what that means. The original Miriam, Eve, got to witness all these people dying. What did Miriam Magdala get to see? She saw people coming back to life. The same thing with Mary. Mary saw her son die, but she was there when her son came back to life. Mary, the sister of Lazarus, got to see her brother come back to life and then got to see Jesus come back to life as well. So basically what we're doing is we're establishing that there were witnesses at the original creation that got to see that Satan was a liar, and then we got to see these 3 female witnesses, or however many female witnesses, get to witness that Jehovah was not a liar. That's all it's about. I hope that all this makes sense. Like I say, I'm very busy now, so I don't have time to write out scripts or anything like that. In fact, I don't even have any scriptures to back up what I'm saying right now. And I'm not going to go type them in right now, because if the upload doesn't take, then I got to type all that back in again. But if you watch this video and you want to know what the scriptures are, just send me a message, an email or something, make a comment, and I'll go look up some scriptures having to do with this system legal system that confirmed that Satan was a liar and Yahweh, Jehovah, God, the creator of the universe, was not a liar. If you don't want to survive, don't listen to me. Just keep going to church.